Cobra Yoga. I'm glad to be with you tonight. Tonight we're going to talk about how to relax and I think I lost my internet connection there for a minute. So we're going to talk about how to relax when you really don't feel like relaxing, when you feel stressed, when you feel anxious, when you are maybe feeling a bunch of emotions, or just like you can't unwind, like you can't shut your brain off, and it's hard to even concentrate on anything. And I have to tell you, quite honestly, I was feeling like that today myself. I just got back from a yoga retreat in Tulum, Mexico, late last night. Had a wonderful time. I enjoyed myself tremendously. It was great working with yogis there, and Tulum was beautiful. And hi, Marlene. The weather was beautiful. Everything was beautiful. I was a little bit under the weather the whole time there, and I still am a little bit under the weather. And so when we got in late last night, I just grabbed some yogurt, found my pajamas, and kind of crawled into bed. And then it's just been kind of a hectic day, and I thought, I can't relax. I can't find peace. I can't find myself, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I can't find that inner quietness that I normally have within myself. And I struggled with it all day, and I knew I had to teach this class tonight, and I thought, wow, this is really strange, because normally when I come to this room, this position, this place, I'm so looking forward to this, and I'm so relaxed and peaceful, and tonight all day I was just like stressed about it and anxious about it, and that's just not me. And I thought, wow, this is really unusual. So I thought, well, this is a message for me. This is something that I probably need to share with you, and maybe focus on for tonight. So I created a sequence tonight for our yin yoga, all about relieving anxiety and stress, and maybe even a little bit of pain in the body, because those can happen when you have stress and anxiety. You can get pain in weird places in your body. So I created a yin yoga sequence based on that. And then I also wanted to talk a little bit, just suggest a couple of essential oils that you might want to use either in your diffuser or on your wrist or on the back of your neck to help you unwind. Also, either just before you go to bed, or even if you're just sitting around watching television, just something to help with stress, help with anxiety, help wind you down a little bit. I know I'm going to be using them later on, that's for sure. And then we're going to do some breath work. And the breath work it's sort of like a natural tranquilizer for your nervous system. Just calms you down, calms down your whole nervous system, relaxes you. And it's something that you can practice very easily once we go through it. It's something you can practice on your own at home, and that you can use if you find yourself in an upsetting situation, or if you find yourself getting irritated or anxious or whatever. Just before you react, practice this breath sequence, help yourself relax, and then choose how you are going to react to whatever the situation may be that you're involved in. And who do I have with me here? Sarah. Hey, Sarah. Thanks for joining, and I'm so glad you found it. So I'm going to start with the essential oils because I would like to use them for myself while I'm practicing yoga with you tonight. So you may or may not know, but I am a Young Living distributor. So what I'm showing you here are two of Young Living oils, bergamot and lavender. And if you don't like using oils directly on your skin, you can mix with like another oil, like you can mix with olive oil, you can mix with almond oil, you can mix with any other oil that you want rather than put them directly on your skin. But these are perfectly safe to put directly on your skin. So what I'm going to do, and you can diffuse these as well, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a drop of lavender and rub on my wrists and on the back of my neck, and a drop of bergamot. And this would smell really familiar to you if you drink Earl Grey tea. Yeah, that's what it smells like. It's delicious. So then I'm just rubbing that in exactly the same spot that I had the lavender, and exactly the same spot that I put the lavender in the back of my neck. Anywhere where you have basically a thinner skin, you can put this. And also, if before you go to bed, you want to put it on the bottoms of your feet, you can do that too. But this is nice to do just before you're practicing yoga. If you're doing a more meditative yoga like we will be doing tonight, because this sort of just sets the tone for your whole practice. Now, if we were going to be doing a power yoga, then I would probably suggest doing something with peppermint and maybe, I don't know, lemon or something on that idea. But because we're doing a more meditative, introspective yoga tonight, then I would, I highly recommend these two fragrances together. It's really very nice for winding down. All right. So, before we get into the yoga, let us try our relaxing breath. So I'm going to move back to my mat. And anytime, if you have any questions, you can write them in or tell me where you're from, anybody watching, and I will try to answer any questions and get back to you. If I can't do it while we're live, I will try to answer your questions after the session, okay? All right, so I'm moving back to my mat, and we're going to do our relaxing breath. So I will do it once as an example for you, and then we will do it together, and we're going to do it 4 times together. But I'm going to do it first just to kind of give you an idea of how it works, okay? So I'm going to move back to my mat. So you can just be in a comfortable seated position, whatever that is for you. Nice straight spine. Relaxed shoulders. Okay? Now the object here, it's called 4-7-8. And what you do is you inhale to a count of 4. You hold your breath to a count of 7. And then you exhale to a count of 8. Okay, sounds kind of complicated, but it's not too bad. And we're only going to do 4, so don't freak out. And what we're going to do is we're going to inhale through the nose, and we're going to exhale through the mouth. And the entire time, we're going to have our tongue, the tip of the tongue, on the roof of the mouth, just behind the 2 front teeth. So in that little point of skin right behind the 2 front teeth, on the roof of the mouth. That's where you keep your tongue, okay? I'm kind of exaggerating, and I'm going to come close, actually, now that I think about it, for you to see. So you're going to have, right up there, you're going to have the tip of the tongue right up there the whole time, even when the mouth is closed, when you're inhaling, okay? So even though I'm inhaling, watch me now, okay? I'm going to inhale to a count of 4. Watch me. So my tongue is up there. So I inhaled to 4 with my mouth closed through the nose. Then I held the breath for 7 seconds. And then I exhaled through the mouth, kind of with like a pursed mouth, with the tongue still in that same position, with the mouth open. We're only going to do 4, okay? And you make kind of a whooshing sound with your breath when you exhale. So now this is something, again, you can practice this at home, but I recommend that when you're practicing this for like the first few weeks, if you do decide to practice this, that you only do it 4 at a time for maybe the first few weeks that you're practicing this, because it does take practice and it really does work on your nervous system. And then maybe after you've been doing this for 3 or 4 weeks, then you can work your way up to maybe doing it 8 times in a row. And I would stick it 8 times in a row for a while, because it is very relaxing for the nervous system. This is something that you can do, like I said before, if you find yourself in a stressful situation, if you feel you're going to react and your blood pressure's going up, take 4 of these breaths before you react, and then choose how you're going to react. Or if you're having trouble sleeping, do this breath work. Try 4 of these breaths and just see how your nervous system reacts. It will calm you down. It's like a natural tranquilizer for your nervous system. I know I keep saying that, but that's exactly what it is. So we're going to do 4. Again, sit comfortably, nice straight spine. Shoulders are relaxed. Your mouth is closed. Your tongue is on that tip on the roof of your mouth between your 2 front teeth. And you're going to inhale to 4. Hold your breath for 7. And then open your mouth, keeping the tongue in place, and whoosh the breath out for 8. Okay, and I'm going to do it as well. All right, here we go. Okay. Let's try number 2 now. Tongue in place. Inhale through the nose. Good. Excuse me. Okay, that was 2. There are 2 more. So again, we inhale to 4, hold for 7, exhale to 8. Okay, we're going to inhale through the nose with that tongue up the top. Good. Those are clearing out my lungs, evidently. 1 more. Inhale to 4. And now just breathe normally while I cough. Excuse me. know that takes a little concentration. It's not very natural feeling. And that's why you only start with 4, because it does take practice. Sorry. But it really does affect your nervous system, and obviously your lungs a little bit. It does affect your nervous system, and it will help you just calm down. It just helps you calm. So from here now, we're going to move into our yoga practice. And we're going to start with butterfly. And now, I know, Marlene, you're very familiar with yin yoga. I don't know who else is watching. Sarah, I don't know if you're familiar with the practice of yin yoga. So I'm just going to give a little brief detail of yin yoga for anybody who's watching who's not familiar. Yin yoga is unlike vinyasa yoga or power yoga, where you spend a lot of time standing and moving quickly from pose to pose. Yin yoga is more floor work, mat work. You're on your mat more, and it's more introspective. You are working your tendons, your ligaments, your fascia, your joints. And what you do is you will move into a pose, like we're going to start with butterfly, and you find a comfortable edge in that pose. You do want to feel sensation. You do not want to feel pain. You don't want to feel like electric zinging, popping, anything. You want to feel sensation, because we do want to have purpose for what we're doing here. However, what we are doing is we're staying in a pose anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes, which can be a challenge for some people. So the object is to find a comfortable edge, basically, where you can hold that pose for those 3 to 5 minutes and stay relatively still and relaxed. And what I mean by that is, some people say, oh, I'm relaxed, but their jaw is clenched, or their pinky toes are all curled up, or something, is not relaxed in their body. And when you're doing yin yoga, you want your muscles relaxed. So the object is to find a comfortable edge in the position where you are feeling sensation, you are feeling some tension and stress in the muscles. And I know people don't like that word stress, but that's what it is. And it's a point where you can hold that pose for 3 to 5 minutes without moving, or as little movement as possible. And if you are not able to, then you know your body better than I do. You come out of that pose. But that's what yin yoga is basically about. It's an introspective method of yoga. We're working, rather than moving and focusing on muscle, we're focusing on tendons, ligaments, joints, and a lot on our fascia. So it's different than yang yoga. All right, so we're going to start in butterfly. And this is a seated butterfly, and from there we're going to move into reclined butterfly. So again, you're going to be seated with the soles of your feet touching. Yin yoga is also a lot about modification. So if you need to use a bolster, if you need to use a pillow, if you need to use blocks, if your knees are not comfortable, you can put blocks, if you have them, or pillows underneath your knees. If you prefer to have something to lean on while you're in this pose, you can do this. Whatever is comfortable for you. Again, you're going to be here for about 4 minutes. So you are going to have the soles of your feet together, pulling them as close to your groin area as comfortable. Again, you want sensation in the inner thigh. You may feel it in different places. You may feel it in your glutes. You may feel it in your hammies. Everybody feels something different. And then you're just going to fold forward, hold on to your toes, and you're going to stay there. All right? And I'm going to time it, so you don't have to worry about it. Again, if you want something like this, you could do that. I've got the clock. slowly bring yourself up. And if you have a bolster or a pillow, you can move those away, and then just stretch your legs out in front of you and shake them out a little bit. And then we're going to move right into reclined butterfly. Again, for those of you who may not have been with me when we first started, tonight's focus is sort of about how to relax when you don't really feel like relaxing, and how to shake off some anxiety. And we talked a little bit about essential oils at the very beginning, and we talked about, and we did a relaxing breath sequence. So if you missed that, you may want to go back and watch it afterwards. But these yoga sequences, the yoga sequence tonight in Yin is for anxiety and and stress relief, all of which can cause your body pain that you may not even actually physically feel. Sometimes there's pain that stress and anxiety causes, that happens deep inside your body that you don't even know about. And it can cause disease, it can cause all kinds of problems that you find out about sometimes too late. And then the problem has already arisen. And what we're hoping is that through yoga we can decrease stress, decrease anxiety, and eliminate some of that disease from entering our lives. So we started with butterfly. Now we're going to head into reclined butterfly. So if you have a bolster or a block, or a couple of blocks, or a pillow, that would be great. I'm going to show you first how to do this with a bolster. My dog hairs everywhere. But basically the leg formation is the same. So you've got the soles of your feet together, and if you have a bolster, you're going to bring that bolster down to meet up with your sacrum. And then you're going to just gently, using your arms, bring yourself down. Arms out, palms up. Keep that chin tucked in. You don't want to do like that. Keep the chin tucked. If you do not have a bolster, that's okay. I'm going to bring myself up and show you some alternatives. You can use a pillow or two. If you have two, that's probably better, so your head doesn't wobble. Same thing. You bring that first pillow down to your sacrum and bring yourself down. Chin tucked. And if it's tough on your knees and you have a block, that's okay. You can put your blocks under your knees if it bothers you to have your knees dangle. Again, it's all about modification for your skeletal structure and your comfort. Again, though, you do want to feel some sensation. This is not a restorative yoga class. This is Yin. We are working the fascia and the tendons, ligaments, joints. If you don't have pillows or a bolster, but you do have blocks, you can space out one to your sacrum and then one to support your head. Make sure you come down safely. Again, tuck that chin. This feels really good on the back. And I've got an eye on the clock. Okay, use your hands to bring your knees together. And if you have blocks under you, be very careful. Roll to your side and pull those blocks out. It's easier with the pillows or the bolster. The blocks are a little bit more tricky. But you just want to get whatever you have underneath you out. Keeping your knees bent. Just kind of windshield wiper your legs from side to side. And then stretch your legs out long. And then just rest in Shavasana for a few minutes. Now Sarah is brand new to yoga, so Sarah's Shavasana is called corpse pose. And corpse pose, you're lying flat on your mat. Your feet are about 12 to 18 inches apart, completely relaxed. Your palms are up and your arms are out maybe about, I guess about 12 to 18 inches away from your sides also. It's called corpse pose. always think that it's called corpse pose because you're leaving behind anything that no longer serves you. It's the death of what no longer serves you, but there may be some yogis watching that may have different insight to that. But it's a rest pose. Okay, slowly roll yourself over onto one side in a fetal position. And then use your hands and your breath to push yourself up to seated. And then we'll move into child's pose from here. So child's pose, you're going to have your knees mat width apart. You're going to be sitting on your heels, your toes are touching. Now again, you can use pillow, you can use a bolster, you can use a blanket. I have a blanket here somewhere. This one just came to me from Mexico. So this is something you can use a bolster here if you want to. You can use a block if you just want to put your head on a block. If your ankles or knees bother you, you can put a blanket under your knees. You can put, I'm just giving you all the options here. You can roll a blanket. And put it under the instep of your foot if you're, if that bothers you. You can also put something here if that bothers you, or you can put a bolster there if that bothers you, if you really need something more comfortable. But you're going to be here for about 4 minutes in this position. You want your chest and your forehead to come down. Again, it can be on a bolster, doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be on the mat. Wherever you're comfortable, it can be on a pillow. But you want sensation in your spine, probably in your quads, shoulders. Your body will tell you where you're going to feel it. So go ahead. I will watch the clock. Take a nice deep breath and sigh it out. One more nice deep breath and sigh it out. Now, if you're using a bolster or a pillow or a blanket, you can move it away and then bring yourself slowly and carefully up onto all fours. And now here again though, if you do have tender knees, you may want to put a blanket underneath them. We're going to do just a couple of cat-cows. Stretch out our spine a little bit. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have your wrists directly underneath your shoulders. Your fingers are splayed out nicely. Your toes, so that you can see them. Toes are flat on the mat. Should be 90 degrees. See if I can see myself here. Take a nice deep breath. Sigh it out. So now we're going to move into cow. So you're going to take a deep breath. Lift the head. Curve the spine. Lift that booty. Keep the shoulders back. And then exhale, mad cat. Try to bring that navel towards the spine. Inhale, cow. Look up, 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 up. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And then come to neutral. Okay, we're going to move into Sphinx, so you can move your blanket. Come down onto the belly, onto your belly on the mat. You want your elbows directly underneath your shoulders. Palms are flat on the mat. Feet flat on the mat. It's hard to see, sorry. Now typically, Sphinx in Yang Yoga is pretty dynamic. You're almost lifting yourself off of your belly off of the mat and pulling yourself across the floor. In Yin Yoga, not so much. In Yin Yoga, what we're doing is we're basically resting the shoulder blades so that they almost come together. It's like the elbow is holding the shoulder blades up. But the shoulder blades are almost coming together. You can rest your head. If you have a blanket, a block or a blanket, and you want to rest your head, you can do that. You want to relax those glutes. It's a nice back bend. Slowly stretch yourself out, lay on your belly. Rest yourself in crocodile so that your feet are splayed out like a mermaid. Rest your head on your arms. And now roll yourself over onto your back. We're going to do a supported bridge. So you'll need either a pillow or a bolster or a block. Excuse me. So you're going to have your knees bent. If you're using a pillow, you're just going to kind of go up on your tiptoes, lift, and put the pillow right underneath your sacrum, keeping your knees bent. Trying to bring the heels of your feet as close to your buttocks as you can. Palms are flat on the floor. Chin is tucked in. If you're using a block, again, lift your toes, lift your buttock, put your heels as close you can, palms down, chin tucked. And it's similar with the bolster, if you're using a bolster. Big bolster here. I don't know if I can even get it under me. It's a big one. Try. There we go. Roll it in place. Right, there we go. Bring your heels as close as you can. Palms down. Chin tucked. We'll be here for about 3 minutes, okay? Okay, last before we head into Shavasana, we're going to do legs up the wall, straight from here. So your chin remains tucked. Your palms are still down. Bring one leg up and then the other. If your bolster or pillow or block is positioned correctly, this should be absolutely no problem. It should balance very well for you. This is a very good pose to do if you're having trouble sleeping, if you have problems with high blood pressure, if you just get off an airplane and your feet are all swollen. When you're in bed at night, you can actually do this. Just put your legs up against the headboard part of the bed to help you sleep if you're having troubles. I know it sounds a little crazy, but slowly bring one leg down back to the mat, and then the other, and then lift your toes and take out your bolster or your pillow or your block, whatever you have underneath you. And then stretch your legs out and find your Shavasana. Take a nice deep breath and sigh it out. One more time. Nice deep breath and sigh it out. Stretch yourself, your toes, your arms overhead. Give yourself a morning stretch, even though it's evening. Hug your knees into your chest. Roll a little bit from side to side. Massage your sacrum, massage your spine. And when it feels right to you, roll to one side in a fetal position and just rest for a moment. Slowly and gently use your breath and your hands to bring yourself to a seated position with your eyes softly closed. Take a moment to see inside yourself right now how your body feels. How do you feel? Do you feel the same way you did an hour ago? Do you feel relaxed? Rested? Take a nice deep breath. Sigh it out. Take one more deep breath and sigh it out. I thank you so much for being here with me tonight and for helping me feel better, feel relaxed and rested and less anxious. Being with you did that for me, and that's very special. I'm grateful for you being here with me tonight and watching. And I'm glad I can share with you. From my heart to your heart, I wish you peace and I wish you joy. Namaste. Thank you, everybody. Remember, oh God, my hair. If there's any questions that you have, please write them in. And if there's anybody new watching, please let me know where you're from. I'd love to know that. And next month in June, I'm going to be doing some work, not everything from this book, but we're going to be doing little bits and pieces from this book. You don't have to have it, but if you want it to follow along with some things, then that's great, but you don't have to have it. Energy Medicine, the little book of energy medicine by Donna Eden. So we're going to be doing some things off and on from this book starting in June. And I just want to let you know that while I was in Mexico, and I know I'm running a little late, I always seem to do that, and I'm sorry. One of the things that I did in Mexico was I did a lot of pre-Mexico, and in Mexico I did a lot of studying and a lot of focus work on Shakti and goddesses, and I really would like to share that with you. A lot of it's mythological, and it's just so very interesting, and the power of the belief in the strength of women, and something that has been lost over time. And I think it's just so important and so interesting, and I would like to focus a little bit more on that during these sessions. And if you guys are into that and would like to hear more about that, you know, give me a thumbs up or a yay or something about that, because you know, we hear so much about the male-dominated stuff, and we don't hear enough about the power of women, and you know, there's so much power in womanhood and sisterhood, and you know, it got lost. I don't know what happened, but it got lost, and I would like to talk about it and study it a little bit and just kind of bring it up. And yeah, so thumbs up, thanks, and I will see you in June. Yeah, a week, 2 weeks from now, whatever that date is, but it's on my Facebook page, and I'll post again about it. And love you guys. Namaste. Thank you. I'll see you next time. Bye. Bye-bye.